Hey loves, I see you back. Thank you for joining me again. We're going to do this free template. And then I saw your upload, so I'm very excited about them. So this was a template I was supposed to show you all a while back. Do y'all remember that one? So because I had so many great photos, I'm going to go ahead and do this one today as well. Okay? So we're going to do this one as a separate video because this is a separate template. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and go with this one. And I have in my folder, I've saved some photos already. So let's do, I have some beautiful images, guys, with ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and do remove BG. And we'll get a glimpse of the photos that are going to go for each template. All right, let's see what we have here. These are just so gorgeous. 1, 2. And you know what? Because I'm clipping these, I don't know why I'm cutting the background out. Because I'm going to show you, you don't have to cut the background out for these. Duh. So let's go to our multi-photos. Now, the one that we're going to do the single photo for, we will need to cut out one version of it. So let's go ahead and show you how you can bring in the images without having to cut them out, okay? And then I'll show you a fun, no, should I show you the fun way? I'll show you the fun way you can make images kind of pop out of the numbers too. That'll be a bonus, not that you have to do it. Okay, so for this file, you just go, we're going to do multi-photos. We'll go to the multi-photos folder, go to the photos clipped into the year, and bam, there it is. So we have the numbers already there. If you want to change this number, let's say next year, of course, is 2021, and this template will last you until 2021 and beyond. So I'm going to double click on this because it's a smart object. The reason why it's a smart object is because it has an outline on it to make the font a little bit thicker. And when we're making that font thicker, we want the photo to clip to the thickest part of it rather than have an outline on top of it. So if I were to change that to a 1, I'll click on my move tool to get out of the editing of the text. I'm going to say, yes, I want to save that. And then, of course, in my template, it will update that. So I'm going to change it back to, as a matter of fact, I don't have to change it back. I can just Control Z and undo that. But I did want to show you how you can edit these numbers, okay? So that's the easiest part. The next easiest part, because all of this is supposed to be easy now. The next easiest part is we're going to bring in our images. I'm not going to clip them into anything yet. I'm going to come to this folder that says Photos Clipped in the Year. I'm going to select that folder so that when I bring my images in, they should go above this layer. So all 4 photos, I'm going to have 1, 2, and this is a good one because one of the photos has pictures in the background, so we want to keep the background. 1, 2, 3, 4. And aren't these some gorgeous photos, y'all? Congratulations to the graduation of your little one. I didn't take down the names because y'all was dropping them, those photos fast in the group. So I was trying to hurry up and get it so I wouldn't get caught up. I'm going to go ahead and bring them into the folder, but I'm going to drag each photo into a particular layer. Right now, let me go ahead and select all of them. So I select the top one, hold down Shift, select the bottom, and I'm going to do Control T just to transform it and to make it a little bit smaller so I will see better where the image is going to show up. All right, so I'm going to pick one photo at a time to drop into a particular number. And maybe you want to do a little layout first just to see which photo you might want in each layer. And I think I'm going to want this one in, the 2 would work for this, but I think the 0 would work better because I want to make sure if we can. No, the 0 wouldn't work. Maybe the 2 would work better because I want to see if we can get those photos in the background there. All right, so we'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for 1, I'm just going to drag it Literally, this is your order, 2020. I'm going to drag it right below this layer, and then I'm going to turn that layer off. So what it did was it allowed me to automatically clip it down to that 2 because I already had a clipping. It's not a clipping mask, it's like basically the layer is clipped to an object below it. All right, so that's 1, easy peasy. Let's take number 2, and I'm going to drag and drop it below, well, between the 0 and the image that exists there. And automatically it's going to clip it. I'm going to turn the eyeball off for the existing image. And then of course my image was down here, right? So I have to move it around to see it now. Same thing for image number 3. I'll right click, find my image number 3, and pull it down into my second 2, between the 2 and the image. And I'm going to control T so I can transform this image and see if I can get it down in size enough to where I can see the photos there. And it's a little tricky because it's going to be hard to see the photos and not cut off the face. There we go. I'm barely making it on there. There we go. Okay, and then finally the 4th photo. Let's just drag it below and drop it into our final 0. Turn off the existing image. And there we have it. Beautiful already. Like, this is pretty much done, right? Well, not proud girlfriend, of course. So we'll change that text. So on here, you have editable text. So you have proud mom of A, proud brother of A is already on here. So all you have to do is edit this. So I'm going to leave proud mom, and then I'm going to our comments right now to see. Yes, T-Pain. This one will be a Keep It Simple Sublimator, Kiss template. It will be available for sale for $10, and that'll be the price of it. My Keep It Simple templates, I'm trying to work on developing more beginner-friendly templates that are at a lower price point. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. Yes, yes. I want, my goal really is for each and every one of you, whether you are experienced in Photoshop or not, to really have the confidence when it comes to designing for your clients. And eventually we'll have this network built to where I feel comfortable referring clients to you all in your local areas when people come to me and say, hey, do you have a place where I can get shirts from in my town with your designs? And I'll be able to refer them to you. So keep your eyes open for this. Like, I really, like, this is going to be a movement for us, not just for me. So I'm excited for it. So the more I get you confident in doing these designs, then we're going to be able to build a really strong network. All right, so that looks like it needs to look. Now, whose image is this? I couldn't get back on Facebook and get the name. So tell me, well, you know what? You'll have the template because you'll be the winner of the template. I'm sure you're going to announce yourself in the group. So you'll have the template and you can change it out. So we're going to leave this as proud mom of a 2020 graduate. Oh, Julia! Hey, love, congratulations. You're a winner. Well, you're always a winner, but you're even more of a winner tonight. So you win this beautiful template with your beautiful subject here. Is this your daughter or one of your clients or anything like that? Oh, okay. So what do you want it to say? Do you want it to say proud mom of a graduate? Because are you going to do this as a gift for mom? And also let me know We'll do this in the gold, but if we need to change the color to match maybe the school colors or anything, let me know. So we'll keep it Proud Mom of a Graduate. And how do you like the gold? Do you want to keep it gold or do you want to change it to another color? And sorry, you guys, I know we're getting a little delay here because I'm waiting on comments to come through. And sometimes it has a little lag in there. Look at that. The school colors are gold and burgundy, so that worked out. But let me show you, let's say that you want to add the burgundy, right? And let's say we keep Proud Mom of A, gold at the top. And let's say we want to do the graduate in burgundy. So we'll right click, go to the word graduate, double click on the FX. There's a color overlay of gold right now. I'm just going to add another version of it, take off the previous one, and I'm going to double click on that swatch. Or actually, I think we just single click. We can single click on that swatch. I was having y'all do extra work. And let's say I know this isn't burgundy per se, but it's going to have an effect. Like basically it's going to have like a multiply effect. I'm not sure. Yep, so it's more of a crimson there. If we want to make it burgundy, make it more maroon, we can drag it down into maroon mode. And right now it's on multiply, but you can play with the blend modes. I have it on multiply so that you still see like the metallic effects underneath it, but I'm just showing you, you can change that once, and then you can right click, copy that layer style, and let's say you want to do it up here for the Proud Mom of A, paste the layer style. Okay, so and then this one, it has a heavier drop shadow with a smaller text, so I would probably decrease that shadow a little bit. But I'm going to leave the gold because the shadow with the gold contrasts really well. And let's say for the graduate, I might want a little bit more of a stroke, just to kind of set that off a little bit. And I'm choosing a gold right now. So I'm going to give it the garnet or the burgundy with the gold. That way you get to see that as well. And I'm just showing you, this is your template. You can play with it as you wish and like really make it your own. Let's see, I'm also going to change the blend mode to either multiply or color. Ooh, color made it kind of see-through a little bit, but that actually causes me problems sometimes, so let me not do that. I'm going to do one of these others where I can be sure. Turn it back to multiply there. So I can be sure that I'm going to be able to see my full opacity here. All right, so I'm liking that. And you can always bring the layer style back. As a matter of fact, what I should have done before I got all happy there, let me duplicate the version of graduate, turn off the burgundy version, and I'm going to copy the layer style from the Proud Mom of A, and I'm going to paste it on to the graduate. That way we have that layer style still preserved. So you have option 1, option 2. All right, so that's it. That will be one version, and let's go ahead and I'll save that one as a proof file. And I keep forgetting that I already have some of these saved as proofs. So I'm going to save this with a 3 at the end. There we go. And if I don't like, and as a matter of fact, I think it looks a little heavy with the drop shadow, you can change the drop shadow color. Oh, I forgot I had 2 of them. So it actually looks fine. I had both of them on and it was looking a little heavy. So that's cool. All right, so let's move on to the single photo version. And let's see, who are we gonna pick for this one? I really like this photo. I know this is Tanya's little one here. Hold on, let me go ahead and get my Remove BG together and just drop the photo. And we have a little bit of cleaning up to do here, but this one would work. So what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you, you're gonna have a cutout version plus the background version. And I like this photo here because I really think these jeans are really nice. Did he do these jeans? Tell me he's got to put those up like for sale somewhere. Set them up at Etsy store or eBay or something. That's what I used to do in high school. I would do jeans and jersey dresses, and I taught myself how to sew and did all kind of crazy stuff. But I thought it was weird, and people thought it was worth paying for. So that's why we're where we at right now. Oh, Julia, you're gonna put it on a makeup bag and a mirror contact. That would be lovely. And I like the fact that you're thinking outside of t-shirts. So that's great. Oh, okay. So he's learning to make them. He's gonna make a killing off of those. I'm telling you that that was something I started doing in high school. I did it all throughout college. The children at the community center, one of them came to me about a week ago. I haven't seen her since she was at the community center. It's probably been almost, dating myself, somewhere around like 18 years. And she asked me to make her make her outfit again. I was like, I don't even do that anymore. But she was like, remember you made us the jeans and the jersey dresses with the rhinestones and you painted on the jeans. I was like, yeah, I remember all of that. And I would get the kids involved, and that's something that that's coming back. So definitely, yeah, I'm excited for that. So you got to show me that. All right, so I think we're going to end up using this one for the single photo, okay? So let me show you how we're going to do this. Right now, let's go ahead and go into edit. We're on Remove BG. Let's edit this little bulky image that's in the background right now. And I'm going to show you how we're going to use the background and the foreground image. So let's go to Erase, Restore. Of course, we're going to do erase on this part. And I'm not going to try to be so exact here because you know this thing irks my little nerves. All right, so we got that majority out in the back. And let's go ahead and download it. And it should download it the same exact size as the full image with the background on it. So now when we go into our single photo layer, so this is what I was saying, you can have images pop out of the numbers. So the first set that we did, it just had the images clipped directly into the numbers, nice and neat. And now we're going to get a little more complicated. Now you can do this for the smaller photos too, but then you would have to individually cut out each photo and keep the background for the photos. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the images that we have on right now, and I'm turning them off so you can see what's there. This is the full image with the background. This would be the image cut out and the image cut out further. And if you wanted to, you can turn the background image off and just keep the color of the text. So you'll have that option in there. All right, let's do it. Let's do, let's grab both. So at the same time, I'm pulling in the image, and it didn't do it the same size. Oh, you know what happened? I think when I do the edit feature, it does save it as a different size. So we'll figure out how to do that. Let's pull both of them in right now. Image 1, image 2. Okay, it pulled it in the same size. You almost didn't even see it come in, but that's It's literally placed right on top. So put it in the same place, same size. As a matter of fact, I've turned the background off. There we go. So what I'm going to do before I do anything else, I'm going to select both images. I held down Shift, or you can hold down, select one, hold down Control, select the other. And I'm going to link these. So see the link button down here, this chain? Press that chain, and now when I move one, the other one moves with it. I'm going to turn off the background right now just so I can see where I'm going with this. And you'll see that I can get a little idea of my placement here. And this is an easy template, but it looks complicated because you get to play with you know, some of the foreground and background features. Now you may, depending on what you want to preserve, like if you want to preserve the emblem there, you know, putting it in the middle may kind of throw you off. But we're going to put it down and get an idea of what's going to happen with it. Now, the purpose of this one, I kind of want to see, even though the 2020 isn't really my focus of keeping it in the background there, I want to see like some of that handwriting that's there because that's cool. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and take both the background and the cutout image, drag it to right above the 2020. And I already turned off my other layers, so I'll be able to see where it's placing. So I'm trying to get an idea of what I may or may not be cutting off. Now keep in mind, I'm going to bring some of this image outside of this area as well. But I almost get the full 2020 in there. It just depends on how big you really want it to be. And for me, you know, I'm typically one, I'm going to overdo it on size. I'm going to make it bigger. So let's say that's about what I would do. But we have these hard edges here on the sides here. Let me go to that background layer. I'm going to do a layer mask, grab my brush here, and I'm just going to fade off. Oh, I have white selected still, so white's going to reveal. I need it to be on black to conceal. So I'm just going to paint along the edge there, and that's just going to soften that up a little bit. So now it just blends into the black background. And you may not want a black background. You may want a background that's going to be the color of the chalkboard there. So let's do a color overlay. And then we have to tell it it's going to be normal. And then the blending option, I'm going to go ahead and preset this up for you all. I think these are the settings. Yes, these are the settings. It's going to help us do that. And I'm going to pick a color for the color overlay. Right now we have that crimson color from the last file. I'm going to select part of this chalkboard here. And there are going to be several different colors in this chalkboard. But I'm trying to get something that makes it believable that this image continued. And this is actually, when it's pulling from this chalkboard, it's giving me kind of a brown tone. So if I want to clean it up and move it over to the gray tones more, then I can shift over to the left there. And I still got a little bit of brown in it. All right, and from here, I might even clean up this area a little bit more because I'm getting still a little bit of a harsh line. And here I go with my paintbrush, and I'm just painting with the black on the mask layer only. Now, I want to take an alternate version of my cutout. So background's off, and I'm just looking at the cutout, right? I'm going to Alt, click, and drag a copy of this cutout, but I'm going to drag it above the photo clip layer. So now this is going to sit on the outside. Now this is where I was saying it gets a little complicated, just a little bit. I'm going to select my 2020. I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to click the thumbnail and see how it actively selected the 2020 here. I'm using that as where I want to cut away my image. So right now I have the inside meat selected. I want the outside meat selected. So I'm going to go to Select Inverse. Now I have all the outside selected. I'm going to my layer where the photo is on top, because everything else is clipped in. It's not hanging out. This is the one that's hanging out, and we want it to hang out in certain places. In certain places we do not. So what we can do is grab our paintbrush, and we need to create a layer mask because the photo is still a smart object. So let's do a layer mask. And as a matter of fact, I want to, when I do my layer mask, I'm going to do a special type of layer mask. I'm going to do layer mask, and I'm going to do reveal all. That gives me my white one. When you have the marching ants on and you do a layer mask, it's automatically going to clip for you. And I don't want that to happen. I want to choose what shows. So I'm using my black, and I'm going to start painting away. But do you get the idea that it's painting away what's on the outside of the 2020 right now? And you could even leave a little something there if you wanted to just give a hint. But the idea that I have here is that I want to see the 2020. But I don't want his face to disappear. So I've taken away what I want to take away, and you can double check down here, make sure it's all clean at the bottom. And now when I go to select, deselect, I have the face that's not cut off, even though it actually does have a little bit of fading there. So I'm going to go onto my layer mask, and it's because I have this big old soft brush. So I'm going to go back in with white to that layer mask because now I want to reveal this fully. And I'm going to hold down Control Alt, right click, get a smaller brush, and I'm actually going to go for a little bit of a harder brush and then make it a little smaller. And I'm going to paint his face back in. That handsome face. Paint it back in. Okay, and then as I come down here, I may or may not want to bring that part of the image back because I like that I see a little bit of it, but not enough to distract me from seeing that that's a tooth. Okay, that's it. We can bring back the chalkboard background now, and it's all together. All right, and this one just happens to be gold too. It's green and gold. So let's see. All right, Tanya, so I'm looking for your input right now. What do you want to see? Do you want to see anything different with this? Do you want to see color change? Do you want to, of course, text change? Because I know what this is. This is Proud Mom for sure. But all you have to do is turn Proud Brother off, turn Proud Mom on. And I'm going to show you something. I know I'm always doing like gradients, but if you just added a layer that you just wanted to paint, and this is how, like, if you wanted to do a kind of truly painted look, like with airbrush, I'm going to choose a soft brush, give myself a little bit of a bigger brush there. I'm just going to paint on this layer. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but all I'm showing you is I painted on this layer. I can take that, right click, and create a clipping mask. It's going to clip it down to that other layer. And let me go ahead in here to graduate, make sure that I have my blending option set where that is off and these two are on. So now I can take the blend mode of this paint layer that I just created, and I can make it do an overlay, darken, I can go color, and just giving you an idea that you can actually paint on layers too. Your gradient is just like that go-to where it's going to go from, you know, linear or the radial where it's going to go in a circle, but you can literally kind of arbitrarily create color splashes and splotches within your text too. And it kind of gives it a little visual interest there. So that's just me showing you how you can use your little scribble scrabble technique and actually have some meaning to it. Oh, it's navy and hunter. Okay, cool. So let's do the navy in there then. That's awesome. Let's add another layer. And I'm going to do this little paint. I didn't intend on showing y'all this for this template, but hey, let me grab the navy that's in the cloth here. I'm steering away from my purples, make it a little more vibrant. But see how my magenta is 92? I don't want that. I want to keep my magenta lower. I'll say 78 is safe. Your magenta being way up there with the cyan is going to give you a possibility of having more purple hues. All right, so now I have 78, 100. I can even go, let's do 72. And then I can bring this black up a little bit. Let's say 70. And it's safer to have a duller blue than it is to have a really vibrant blurple. And those of you in sublimation know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's see what happens if we play around with, and I'm gonna do layers, so I'm not messing with my layer where I threw the green on there. And this is something I think he would enjoy. He's artistic too. Like, let him play with this and probably come up with something really cool. So I did a little blue, got a little gold showing through. And for the blue, let's do color as well. Trying to see which blend mode I like best. Let's do darken. And then I'm going to, oh, you know what I should have been doing this whole time? I should have duplicated that graduate so I keep my original one. And you see that's basically what we did. We just created a little chaos, nothing major. So I'm going to right click these two and create a clipping mask so it clips back to that graduate copy. And for the effects for the graduate, I'm actually going to turn the color overlay off so that it has more of the silver tones there. That way I can paint my gold on there. Did I turn it back on anyway? And I think it already has, it has a great, like a silver tone on there. So we'll leave that one on, and I think we should be good to now add a gold layer. So same thing, new layer, we'll clip it down, and this time we'll do the gold just because there's a little gold in this emblem there. So we have our paintbrush selected. I'm going to Alt, and I'm going to click. It's kind of hard to grab that gold from there because it's so small, so I can pretty much click anywhere where I see gold. And I'm going to reduce the brush size now and just kind of paint some gold in there somewhere, just a little randomness. And of course, let's do either multiply or let's do multiply. And that way you kind of have a little bit of an artsy version of this. And what I would do is give myself a little more contrast now because the colors are so dark with the shadows that I would either give a contrast to the stroke or take off the drop shadow. Maybe even make the drop shadow a different color. And it looks like it also has an outer glow. And that outer glow is actually helping you to see your stroke there. So let's grab, I did not mean to do that. There we go. And I'm going to add an additional stroke. And this one will be a color. And I'll make this one the gold color. And instead of normal blend mode, we're going to make it multiply. Multiply looks pretty cool. And you don't have to choose the yellow color. You could also choose white. The white looks pretty cool. I like the white because it gives me a little contrast with the drop shadow there. Thanks, Yolanda. Awesome. He likes it. All right. And brother likes it too. All right. Well, I'm winning. If I can get like young guys to like a design, that's how you know you're actually a little bit decent with the graphic design. Because you know the young men are picky when it comes to designs and what they wear and stuff. I mean, the girls are too, but girls, you pretty much put their picture on anything and they cute, they gonna wear it. But the guys, it has to have a certain style to it. It has to, you know, go with their style, their sneakers, or whatever else goes with it. So if they like it, then I love it. All right, so I don't know. I just did this a little something different, and this is something they can play with too, doing the little splotches of color. Well, tell him I love him too, and that's not on the low, that's on the high. So I proclaim that to everyone on YouTube tonight. So, Mom, what do you think? We got it? We got a good design? You want to see anything different? Oh, let's say for instance you wanted to do the same thing to the proud mom of a graduate up top. We can take this, we can copy. Well, let's do this. I'm going to duplicate proud mom of A. So right click, duplicate layer, and I'm going to put this above here and we'll group this together. So it won't be confusing. If somebody doesn't want to go through all this, don't. I'm just showing you how to make it a little bit of fun because I was done with the design already. You know, it wasn't even a 10-minute template. It was more like a 5-minute template. Awesome. He likes it. So it's good then. Let me show you if you wanted to take the same thing and you didn't want to do the paint splashes all over again, right? So we could copy the layer style from the graduate below and then we'll paste it above. And all it did was kind of take the color out, made it more neutral color. And then we can take those three color splotches that we did, Alt, click and drag, and I'm dragging it just arbitrarily somewhere up here because I know it's moving. Now it still clips this layer below, but if I take those three layers and drag it above, now I can move them and I could even Control T, transform them to where they basically squish and fit right onto the text. I can hit enter there and then I can right click and create a clipping mask and those will clip inside of the text there. And of course we still have the other one on. I can turn it off so you can see. Now this one we would have to play with the thickness a little bit because the text is smaller. So the thickness of the stroke, we would take it and I probably even have the stroke. I have the stroke on center. I'm going to change the stroke to outside and then I'm going to bring it down a little bit. But that's just an idea, like if you use something once and you want to reuse it as a recurring theme. I like the other one better just because the font is a lot smaller, so you don't see a lot of the detail. But I'm just giving you ideas of how you can reuse a color style or a design style and not have to redo it completely. But I'm with him. I'm going to turn Proud Mom of back on with the full gold. We have the color, we have the pops of color, we have the photo, the background, and I think we're good to go. So I'm going to save this one and tell him he's going to be on my website too. So he's going to be featured. This design is basically, you know, his he's the muse. So I appreciate him. Thank you for volunteering to put this handsome face on a design in the space. All right, so I think we're done with this template, loves. Anything else that y'all want to see on this one before I move on to the next video, which we'll have to shut down and start up a new video? Oh, I'm glad he's honored. All right, so this one's good to go. I'm going to go ahead and show you all our progress of what we did today. So we did the multi-photo, which turned out gorgeous, and the single photo, which was a little more complicated, even though it was only one photo, and it's because of the technique of making the image look like it's popping out from the background. But you'll be able to watch this even if you have to watch it in slow-mo, like 0.75 speed, and get the concept of how we're making it look like it's in front of the text in some places and cut out of the text in other places. All right, so I'm ready to save this one. See if y'all have any other questions. And then we'll move on to this design. I've selected a few photos. I can't tell you until we get to that video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and knock it out. So if y'all are willing to stay up, we'll go ahead and knock it out as a 10-minute template tutorial. And then that way I'll have that one done, because I've been sitting on this design for over 2 weeks now and I didn't record a tutorial. That's why I didn't release the template. If I don't do a tutorial, I don't do the template, because I don't want you not to have the proper guidance when you need to edit it, okay? All right, love, so check in with me. This is not going to be a long hold. This is literally going to be me logging off and logging back into the next video. So about 2-3 minutes and I'll see y'all in a bit. If you're tired, I do not hold it against you. Get you some rest, and this video will be available for your viewing pleasure whenever YouTube decides to release it, sometime within 24-48 hours. Okay? See you soon, loves. Bye.